touch all your seatbelts, touch all your connections, touch your Hans. Just make sure you get everything like you want it.
Well, folks, better late than ever. We're getting into it here tonight for the Sigma USATrucks East Division here tonight at Atlanta for 151 miles. It is the Peachtree Road 151. And so this is our second race on the East Coast. We already had 2 on the West Coast, so now here's race number 2 on the East Coast. And we'll get started with today's lineup for the race. Starting on the front row, you've got Sarah Taylor alongside John Hagan, Toyota and Chevy front row. Behind that, you've got Philip Manning and Snake Plissken, a couple of the Outlaw gang there. Alan Malcolm and Brandon Butler II, Eli the Wolf and Milano Grimm, Cannon Gage and James Gunner, Alex Sanvital and David Bird, followed by Philip Purpura and Carlos Eduardo. Then it's Craig Bush and Andrew Moger, Guido Piano and Pedro Sales, Tim Morse and Wesley Shaw, Mitchell Carter and Ralph Oberstadt, Zane Phoenix and Ryan Little, Craig Popkris and Wyatt Wilkinson, Jeffrey Gerald and Paul Valenzuela, Drew Clue alongside Gannon Bird, Daniel Pauls Jr. alongside Andre Stefan, John Underkoffler with Sebastian Galloway Jr. on the outside there, Jamie Horseman, Kyle Ottawa, Daniel Boogs, and Jack Ross, the rounding out of the field here. 98 laps is the distance here from Atlanta. We are traditional Atlanta. We don't have the Super Speedway package here on the Sigma Cup side of things. So the pace truck is a-rolling here as Sarah Taylor and John Hagan will lead them to the start here tonight.
Make sure everything gets inside here, Jim. Guys.
This is our week of Atlanta. So we're going to have trucks here, Bridge to Cup and Cup, all racing on this variation of Atlanta. The old school Atlanta is kind of where it's at, in my opinion. I do like the races at the current modification where they've tweaked it to make it super speedway racing. It's definitely not the same. Doesn't have the same vibe as Atlanta. So here we are rolling tonight for 98 laps, 151 miles the distance. These trucks will likely have to make at least one pit stop here tonight, whether or not that's under caution or during green flag. We'll find out. 3 wide for the lead already here on lap 1. That is the 14 of Philip Manning right there alongside the 88 of John Hagan. Hagan leads the lap there. And honestly, this track, even vintage Atlanta runs a lot like modern Atlanta. You can see 3 wide, 2 wide, almost 4 wide on occasions throughout the field here today. So by no means is this going to be a snoozer. This is going to be an exciting race from start to finish. Gannon Gage jumps to the lead here, but he's going to get stuck up high. Here comes Alex Sanvital. Yeah, even when you're trying to run away from modern Atlanta, vintage Atlanta might even turn into modern Atlanta if you give it a chance. So Alex Sanvital leads over Philip Purpura. Tim Morse coming through the field as well on that low side. number 15 Dodge Ram with the Portland Sea Dogs truck there. And Purpura going for the lead in the number 25 F-150 there. Also creeping into the picture, you've got the number 8 now of Carter, Mitchell Carter that is. Alex Samvital for Trevor Ventures wants to try to get up front and lead some laps here. We get by the 25 and the 15's right there on his tail. Welcome into the stream. It is Sigma After Hours. I know it's very late, very, very late. Finally had the ability to get set down and run the race here tonight so we don't get too far behind tomorrow. I've done the double headers already the last couple weeks, but I kind of wanted to try and fit this one in tonight so people could watch it on Tuesday morning if they couldn't tune in live tonight to watch it. Well, Alex Samvital leads the way right now as 16 of Jeffrey Gerald peeking on the inside here. Number 18, that is Carlos Eduardo for Tyler Aspinall Racing. The Honda Ridgeline moving up towards the front of the field. Behind that, you've also got the 52 of Wesley Shaw. Leading the way, though, it is Jeffrey Gerald for LFG Motorsports leading the way in the number 16 Honda Ridgeline. It's a Honda party up front as they're moving up, up, and away. 18, Carlos Eduardo makes it a battle for the lead here. 18's going to take the lead. He wants to match what his teammates been able to do earlier this season already. Season on the West Coast. Season opener was the Tyler Aspinall Racing's entry. Leads Wesley Shaw to second, and Alex Samvital drops to third. Jeffrey Gerald falls back to fourth, and Sebastian Galloway Jr. now in the top 10. I think he was deep in the field here today, so somehow he has climbed up into a top 10 running position, as it showed where they started here today. It is not on that, but we can look up one other. Need to fix another thing here anyways. Yeah, let's look and see where he qualified here today. So qualifying the 95. Not as far back as I thought. Oh yeah, 34th. From 34th place up into the top 10 right now. That is an impressive bounce back for Sebastian Galloway Jr. The opening winner on the East Coast here was that 46 truck there of Craig Popkris. Currently your points leader. yeah, Monday night Sigma racing. It's a little bit later than I anticipated. I wanted to get started about 3 hours ago, but carpets were drying in the house, and I couldn't really get back into the office to run the broadcast, so I had to wait till carpets were dry. Move my seat back in here. Everything was basically pulled out for the carpet and steamers. The carpet cleaner company came through to clean everything up. So, but yeah, no, we won't get behind. We'll be able to roll into tomorrow night's race without any delay. The ARCA race tomorrow night. The ARCA series will be running at Daytona this week, and then Pikes Peak next week. So a pretty good couple of races coming up for the ARCA series. This truck series at Atlanta here tonight, obviously. Bridgestone Cup on Wednesday will be here at Atlanta, and Cup on Thursday here at Atlanta. So a triple header at Atlanta with lots up for grabs. All the new people that joined, I'm still trying to find an open window to paint some rides up. Rest assured, those that signed up for trucks, you're not going to be starting until next week's truck series. Yeah, we had to get those home tracks in there for the drivers. Definitely, it's great to have some of those unique tracks on the schedule. One of the other reasons I have Brands Hatch across the calendar with Finley Herwig and his home track. So definitely love having home tracks representing the drivers of the series, and it's definitely makes it more fun to follow along for everyone. I do want to hop back into track building. I was getting the bug the other night. I just, yet again, time is of the essence, and it's very hard to nail down time specifically for track building. But I do want to try and build my current home track, which is 10 minutes from my yard, if I drove there right now at Tri-City Raceway. And I've, tried to take as many pictures as I can when I'm at the races there this year so far. I think I could make a pretty accurate representation of it. Yeah, for whatever reason, I just kind of neglected to put Atlanta on the ARCA calendar. Our ARCA series runs a very, very unique calendar to the rest of our series. And Atlanta is one of those tracks missing from it this year. But, for example, we go to places like, let's see, we'll be going to 1911 Indianapolis with the bricks, the original Brickyard. We're going to be running the Chili Bowl with the ARCA cars, Kawartha in Canada, Nazareth, a track that's not really on the calendar for any of our other series. So it's going to be, it's kind of, it's got some long, odd racetracks that, for me, ARCA is kind of the testing ground. If there's a track that I would like to try and implement into Sigma, I'll test it in the ARCA series first right now. And if the track succeeds, then maybe we look at trying to add that to the rest of the calendars. If it flops, it's like, oh well, it was an ARCA race, so what? So that's kind of why the ARCA calendar is a little bit more experimental. Besides the smaller field sizes, gives us the ability to try out some smaller tracks, and it's all kind of just a big big test trial for the most part. Sigma Elite Challenge this year. A lot of those tracks we've never hosted a race on the YouTube channel. So it's getting into one of those situations, because usually, for example, as I'm rambling here, I prefer to test my tracks out and get the tried and true tracks on the calendar. Well, the problem with the Sigma Elite Challenge is I haven't tested any of those tracks, and it's very unique tracks, very different tracks than what we're used to. And so, yeah, it's going to be kind of an experiment all year long with the Sigma Elite Challenge. But that makes for some good YouTube racing action as well, so. Carlos Eduardo holding a steady wheel up front here, leading bunch of laps. And the 45, that's Sarah Taylor. She has started from pole here tonight and is climbing her way back through the field up into second. That 32 is James Gunner, still running the unsponsored livery there, but don't let that fool you. He is a very, very handy wheelman behind the 32 Honda Ridgeline there. Also popping into the picture, the 2022 USA Trucks champion, Guido Piano, and his teammate right behind him, Snake Plissken. So a pair of Al Bunch Incorporated Dodge Rams moving up to the front of the field. 70 laps left in the race here. They're probably racing to about halfway and then figuring out when to make that pit stop. No caution so far. Definitely the playbook is wide open for these drivers. And how crazy would that be for a driver without a sponsor on the truck just to get up front and lead some laps here. Guido Piano in the number 08 truck. That's a throwback to his original championship winning truck scheme. He previously drove the number 37 MasterCard, and that was a Toyota back then. When he got the opportunity to come race for Al Bunch Incorporated, all the dominoes fell into place to get him his sponsor back from his championship winning season. And here he is into third place already. Also creeping into the picture, the 95 of Sebastian Galloway Jr. They're kind of strung out up front here, single file for the top three, and very sparsely doubled up behind that. Guido going to second. He's going to take that spot, separate the Honda Ridgeline party at the front. Carlos Eduardo with the fastest lap in the race, your current race leader. Goes to show you that he's got one hell of a truck here tonight. But Guido Piano knocking on the door. How long is Carlos Eduardo going to be able to hold off the hard-charging Italian, Guido Piano? So far, still caution-free through the race here tonight. 33 laps in, 65 laps to go. And make that 64 laps to go now as they cross the start-finish line. 32 2. James Gunner getting back around the 08 of Guido Piano. Jeffrey Gerald dropping low. Is he going to think about making it 3 wide here, perhaps? Knows better than to make it 3 wide. Just settles in line underneath the 08 here for now. Impressive how there's been no carnage yet, no drama, no caution, no yellow. We continue soldiering on through this 151-mile event here tonight. The lead has been at a prime location here as the 18 has held that position for quite some time now. Is the other drivers just kind of waiting out their turn, or is that 18 truck just on a whole different level? Tyler Aspinall Racing, long synonymous with Bridge to Cup and Cup. Finally, they decided to open up the garage and start piloting trucks here in 2026. The first time they've ventured into this series. And boy golly, they are lighting it up right out of the gates. They were able to win the season opener at Armory Digital Super Speedway with Donovan Heist, otherwise known as Donnie. Donnie took home the trophy at the season opener on the West Coast. The East Coast, they didn't fare as well, but still, as you can see, the likes of the 18, 27, Zane Phoenix, they're running strong. They ran strong to start the season, and they're continuing into this week and on, perhaps, with the momentum that they're carrying. David Bird cracking into the top 4. That's the 96 Storm Chaser Weather Channel Chevrolet. 96 for Jesse Saturn Racing. Wow, single file all along the inside line there. They're definitely getting spread out a little bit in the mid-pack there. Slowly but surely working our way to halfway here tonight. 41 laps in, 57 laps to go. With all these races at Atlanta this week, it should be an exciting week of racing here on the Sigma channel. Trucks are playing it pretty tame right now, no cautions. Slowly approaching halfway, and we're about to put some more trucks a lap down here. We're going to go 3 wide, not quite 2 wide for second place. That right there is a trio of Hondas leading the pack. 2 of which are Tyler Aspinall Racing, currently the 32 and the 18, and then 1 of which is LFG Motorsports and the 16 of Jeffrey Gerald. Zane Phoenix working his way up. He wants to get up there with his teammates and fight for this win. Tyler Aspinall Racing potentially have a 1-2-3 gridlock. They're going to have it for now as the 27 gets by the 96. That puts all three of the team trucks running 1-2-3 if they come across the line like this. There you have it, 1-2-3. Might not stand for very long, but at one moment right before halfway, all three of the teammates ran right there alongside each other. Whoa, in the lap traffic. Really making it hard for these trucks to navigate. Making it through the lap traffic. The best at the moment is the 16 of Jeffrey Gerald for LFG Motorsports. That puts us at a Honda 1 through 4 stranglehold on the top of the field. Jeffrey Gerald still winless in his career. Has been a staple, a lifer, I guess you could say, with LFG Motorsports. And he's pretty much found his home here. Guarantee you he's going to stick around with the team and try to put as much emphasis on winning as possible. Oh, is that a problem for the 52 of Wesley Shaw? He slowed way up there. Seems like he's got it under control, but they built a big gap from the second. Whoa, and they're wrecking in the background. I don't think it's going to bring out a caution. Let's get a quick replay here. Oh, that's got to bring out a caution. Yep, one caution already. So here's what brings out the caution here tonight at Atlanta. That right there is the 99 of Daniel Paulus Jr. And he just gets hooked by the 28 of Jamie Horseman. Pretty lackluster spin there, no contact with the wall. Lights turn on and the caution is out. So right at halfway, nonetheless, too. This is going to make it interesting now as pit stops are going to be brought in under caution here, meaning no one's going to lose any position on track due to competitive speeds and stuff. Let's go ahead and turn on green-white checkers just so we have that enabled. So really the first mistake of the night comes right at about halfway, where the 99 at the back of the field gets turned around, spins out. A very pivotal pit stop here if they can come out with the positions that they entered into it with. It'll be basically a shootout to the finish here. And those Tyler Aspinall Racing Hondas were the ones up front. Looks like David Bird's going to beat a couple of them. And even the 81 of Snake Plissken makes up some ground here. The big loser on pit stops, definitely the 27 of Zane Phoenix there. Losing a couple spots. He went from the lead back to about 7th. But coming out front with the lead, it's going to be James Gunner in the unsponsored number 32 for Tyler Aspinall Racing. So James Gunner, a proven winner in the USA Trucks. Don't have to look very far back in his stats to actually find his successful seasons. Look back last year, 2025 USA Trucks. In the East Coast, James Gunner had 2 wins, 5 top 5s, and 11 top 10s. And unfortunately stepped away from the sport, had some family emergencies to tend to. But finally returning this year, and with a very promising team on the upswing here. Tyler Aspinall Racing decided to swoop in and give him a seat for this season. and I don't think they're going to be disappointed here. If he wins the race here, he's definitely going to have a full-blown livery next week. The next race, that is. Not next week, because next week the West Coast takes over. So for those of you that are watching that are not familiar with Sigma Racing, our ARCA series and our Truck series are split between two divisions. The trucks, of course, are split between the East and the West, simply enough, based on the calendar and schedule that they have. Only the East Coast the trucks on the East race on the East Coast, and the West trucks race on the west side of the United States. So our ARCA series is split between the Alpha and the Delta division, and that ain't as cut and dry explained. It's not as cut and dry explanation as the East and the West, because you've got some unique tracks to the Alpha side and unique tracks to the Delta side. They're not geographically specific though. Alrighty, so past halfway here, everyone's gonna have fuel to make it to the finish, so no drama on fuel windows. You've got what you've got, you made your bed, you've got your position on track. Who's gonna come out on top once these last 47 laps are in the books? Quite a few comers and goers. We've seen drivers move up to the top of the field, and some of them have since dropped backwards. Doubled up for the restart. The pace truck maintaining pace limit here. They're going to pull off right at the turn 4 entrance there. We're back and rolling here tonight at Atlanta. One caution in the books. Are we going to see cautions breed cautions though? The two Hondas on the inside, and here comes Wesley Shaw with a push from the other Tyler Aspinall Racing entry. 3 wide for 4th place, 5th place, and back. 16, Jeffrey Gerald dropping like a rock. And this is where you got to make all of your moves. On a restart like this, if you can't get through the field while the getting's good, you might get stuck behind someone slower. So here comes Wesley Shaw, the number 52 Chevrolet for Shangle Steel Racing. He gets by the 18 of Carlos Eduardo. Carlos Eduardo peaks down low here. We got Trevor Ventures also joining back up front, the 9 of Alan Malcolm. The 08 of Guido Piano for Al Bunch Incorporated. And how about Black Storm Motorsports, the number 95 of Sebastian Galloway Jr. Sebastian had heartbreak in a Bridge to Cup race just last week at Portland, where he led so many laps and ended up getting wrecked out. So the old man on the field definitely wants to try and taste success here in the Sigma Series. Doesn't matter if it's trucks, Bridge to Cup, ARCA, wherever he's racing. He wants to try and seal the deal at least once before he retires. Here comes Al Bunch Incorporated with the number 08 of Guido Piano. Long thought to be a joke name, but the whole when he won the championship, you couldn't really escape it anymore. It was too good to be true. The joke name became synonymous with championships, And so now your original truck champion, he's going to lead a lap here tonight at Atlanta. There's no joke about that one. So Guido Piano has not won very much in the last couple of years, but still no stranger to success. He tried to make the jump up to Cup, and that didn't really work out. So we're almost kind of seeing his Justin Allgaier story arc here in the number 08 truck as he comes back to race for a great team, a team stellar in its own right, after washing out of the Cup division. So we'll see how he does this year. Got to lead that lap, and he's going to have to settle back in and reroute. All three of the Tyler Aspinall Racing trucks back in the top 5 here. 3 wide for third. 2 wide for fourth. Racing's getting good here, and we still have plenty of laps left to go. 39 left on the ticker. Man, I'm so excited for the rest of the Atlanta races here this week. Look how exciting the racing is here. 3 wide, 2 wide, side by side, single file, it doesn't matter. It gets all over the board here at Atlanta. Some usual suspects at the front here, but also joining the top 5, it is Brandon Butler II. He just had a stellar performance in the Cup race a couple days ago, coming home with a top 5 at Portland in the Burnt Money Motorsports number 42. He's been in the truck series much longer than his this is his rookie campaign in the Cup Series. Got the call up. Still seeking that first career Sigma win. But part of me feels like it's right around the corner. Brandon Butler's getting the equipment under him all of a sudden, and now it's just a matter of time before he finds victory lane. Gannon Bird in the number 59 Texaco Haviland Dodge Ram there for Trackstar Racing. Getting single filed up front here as your top 3 break away. Still doubled up everywhere back from there. Here comes Carlos Eduardo back with a charge. Cuts up high to block off the run on the outside. Based on the point standings from the first race of the season, Craig Popker is your points leader, obviously, with the race win. Wesley Shaw in second. Third place, Kyle Ottawa. Fourth place, Philip Purpura. And fifth place, Sebastian Galloway Jr. It's very likely Guido Piano here running up front. He's sixth in the points. He could, based on how they're running right now, walk away with the points leader. It would be really close between him and Wesley Shaw. But he's only 5 points out of the race, the championship points lead, that is. So, and he's pretty much beaten all the other trucks that are up there in the points as they run right now. So, 2022 USA Trucks champion. Off to a good start this season. Here we got the Trevor Ventures teammates getting up front, side by side, battling each other. This is a very common storyline that we've seen the last couple of years, the 9 and the 10. Sometimes it's the 20 and the 21. Sometimes it's all four of them once we get to the East-West chase for the championship. But Trevor Ventures has been hard to stump. It seems like they are always top of the leaderboard. But Tyler Aspinall Racing wants to try and usurp them from the top of the board. As you've got the 32 there, that's James Gunner putting a big fight up on the inside there of the two Trevor Ventures trucks. Eli the Wolf comes into the party. Where in the world did he come from? Where has Eli the Wolf come from? He's in third place right now, fighting for the win. Eli has successfully won his first ever Sigma race earlier this year in the Cup Series, taking home the season opener win at Armory Digital Super Speedway. So he finally got that monkey off his back, and you can only imagine him racing tonight with a little bit more assertiveness, knowing that he can get the job done. Here he is, stuck in the middle of the meat sandwich, though. He's going to get back down low, and that's right about where you want to be. 27 laps to go in the race. Back to the top, it's Alex Sanvital. Also messing around with positions there. That's the 08 of Guido Piano yet again. And how about Ralph Oberstadt, the number 3 Chevrolet for Shangle Steel Racing, running in third at the moment. The Chevys are starting to rise to the top. Now, one thing they say about cream is it always rises to the top, right? There we go, the 29 with one hell of a run on the inside. Shangle Steel Racing looking stout here tonight. That 29 and the 3 working together, working miracles. Eli the Wolf up to second. Is he going to be able to hunt down the number 10, though, of Alex Sanvital? All of a sudden, the Tyler Aspinall Racing Honda's not looking as stout as they did earlier in the race here. Kind of struggling at the moment. And Craig Popkris joining the party once the laps start to dwindle away here. Your current points leader, Craig Popkris, could he potentially get up there and mix it up with the leaders. Eli the Wolf goes low on the number 10. He's going to break the draft, and they're going to be side by side fighting for the lead. Oh, here comes Guido Piano. He cuts right there, cuts bait on the number 3 of Ralph Oberstadt to get low. Racing is getting exciting, full of action here at Atlanta. Craig Popkris, wow, where in the hell did he come from? 46 showing up right when it matters the most. Now into the top 5 solidly is the 46. Zane Phoenix also moving into the picture here. And man, how about Snake Plissken? Another stellar run from the 81 truck there, moving into the top 10, looking for a top 5. Guido Piano's going to lead this lap. Craig Popcris makes it 3 wide for the lead. And he's going to prevail. 46, I do believe that is Reemergence Racing for Tasha Wright, the number 46 of Craig Popcris. He's going to do something here tonight, and he's going to lead something, but 20 laps to go. Can he hold it? Can he maintain it? And then you have Snake Plissken joining the party here. He's already won this season in Bridgestone Cup. Could he try to figure out a way to win in multiple series this year? Very few times do you see drivers actually running across multiple series. And even rarer do you ever see them actually winning in all of the series that they're contesting. Snake Plissken came from the ARCA series last year, had a dominant rookie year. So dominant that it actually allowed him to jump the ladder a lot sooner than most drivers can. And hence his reason for being in Bridgestone Cup this year is because of his success in ARCA last year. So that means he ain't racing ARCA here in 2026. If he was in the field though of any of the ARCA races, he would have taken home victory already. Ralph Oberstadt leads. What's amazing here is the ebb and flow. You probably have about 15 trucks all within a window of fighting for this win. Ralph Oberstadt's going to have to hang on for dear life here as the rest of the field behind him is going to come charging up to the front. Officially credited with the lead lap that time was Ralph Oberstadt. But the 18 of Carlos Eduardo definitely going to steal the position back. 16 laps remaining, 3 wide for second. And it's Craig Popcris back up into the top 2 spots here. Going to come knocking. He gets right up there close and personal with the number 18 of Eduardo. Well, Craig Popcris back to the top spot. Your points leader, and they're wrecking in the background. No, that is the 08 of Guido Piano. 14 laps to go, and they are wrecking. We'll get a replay dialed up here. But that one looked nasty, folks. Just when you thought the race was going to settle into a nice push to the finish, we get a late race wreck. It was 4 wide with Snake Plissken, Andre Stefan, and Guido Piano there. Also involved was the 96 of David Bird, the 0 of Pedro Sales, the 16 of Jeffrey Gerald. Let's get one more angle here on the wreck. Yeah, 4 wide was not going to work there. Ralph Overstat's on the high side of 4 wide. Snake Plissken hooks the 56 of Stefan. That collects the 08 of Guido Piano. 81 gets away chalk free. But as they're spinning, the 0 of Pedro Sales with nowhere to go. Craig Bush involved as well. Jeffrey Gerald. Boogs is going to come through clear of the wreck. But man, what a heartbreak for Guido Piano, who is up there high in the points, just needing a good finish here tonight to maintain those points. Fortunately, going to be a near dead last finish here today. Alrighty, well, leading the race is none other than your points leader, Craig Popkris for Reemergence Racing. Tasha Wright's team got the win last race that was at Daytona, and so now second on the calendar for these East Coast racers, Atlanta, and he's already found his way back up front fighting for the win. But do not discredit or count out anyone else here. That's the 74 of Andrew Moger, the 10 of Alex Sanvital. Milano Grimm won their first career race in ARCA and could follow suit here in the trucks very easily. That's the 45 of Sarah Taylor, 29 of Eli the Wolf, Wesley Shaw in the 52, Tim Morse in the number 15. The 18 of Carlos Eduardo, who's led the most laps here tonight. Alan Malcolm, James Gunner, Zane Phoenix, Ralph Overstat, John Hagan, and Snake Plissken, who just caused this most recent wreck. Let's watch another replay of that wreck. So 4 wide. This is going to be your best angle here from the helicopter. You can see the 81 on the low side. I don't know if it's necessarily completely his fault. The 3 of Ralph Overstat kind of holding up the outside line there. But once they all got close there, 56 comes down into the 81 actually. And that's where the domino effect happens. The 08 of Guido Piano, who had a great race here tonight. Man, even John Hagan gets a little clip in there as well. 88. Mountain Dew Baja Blast teal truck there. The rest of them just kind of drive around the wreck, except for the 0 of Pedro Sales with nowhere to go. 16 of Jeffrey Gerald and the 84 of Craig Bush. Lights are off on the pace truck. We're going to get back and rolling here with 9 laps to go. For whatever reason, your points leader, your race winner from the last race, has found his way back up into the lead here tonight. Wouldn't that be crazy if we have a back-to-back winner? We already did in Bridgestone Cup this year with Campbell Marsh. Could Craig Popkris also join that rare group of drivers to win the first 2 races of their selective season? Yeah, this is technically race 4 of the USA Trucks Championship, but this is only race 2 of the East Coast. So here goes. Green flag waves, we're back and rolling. It's a 9-lap shootout to the finish. Craig Popkris did not get a good start there, as Moger on the outside drag races by him. But 46 waking up on the low side, maybe with a good push from the 10 of Alex Sanvital. Sanvital thought about getting in there, but the 46 holds him off. Green-white checkers is in place if need be. And there's a very, very high chance that we can see another caution before this one hits the white flag. What was a very relaxed, a very chill race to start has kind of gotten upended with some cautions here tonight. Here comes Alex Sanvital getting around the other side of the 46. Number 10 to the top spot, that is Trevor Ventures. Ralph Oberstadt makes it 3 wide. Now is when you just gotta go. You gotta put the throttle down to the floorboard. Fight for all the track position you can get. 81, Snake Plissken may have brought out the caution. Might have given him a better shot at winning this race here tonight. And who knows, some folks might argue that the aggressive racing was not necessary there, and that a win would kind of be diminished by the antics of the Outlaw taking out those trucks. But some people might also look at it and think that it was just a racing scenario. That you put yourself 4 wide, you're going to see wrecks happen. It might not be necessarily 100% your fault. Of course, the keyboard warriors are going to be the keyboard warriors. And at the end of the day, someone's going to be celebrating in victory lane, and it tastes just as sweet no matter what. So, 5 laps to go. Alex Sanvital leads the way. Ralph Oberstadt up to second, and here comes Snake Plissken. 46, unfortunately, just kind of fell off the radar here. Your points leader, but he may very well leave here tonight still with that points lead. So Alex Sanvital is going to have to hold off a hard charging Snake Plissken here. The good thing for Alex Sanvital, he has his teammate right there behind 81. That is the 9 of Alan Malcolm. Are there going to be some team tactics in play here to try and help Trevor Ventures get the win regardless? Here we go. The 9's going to go low. Going to get alongside Snake Plissken and force Plissken on the high side. Also joining the mix up front, you've got Zane Phoenix in the 27. Don't count out that 46 yet either. 9 is forcing the 81 to stay up high, and that's allowing the 10 of Sanvital to drive away. Down to just a couple laps left to go. Leading the way, it is the Trevor Ventures duo of Alex and Alan. Alan Malcolm, runner-up in the championship last season, where Trevor Vaden took home the title. Here we go, white flag, 1 more lap to go here from Atlanta. Do the teammates play nice, or are the gloves off? Is it mono a mono? Is Alan Malcolm going to try for the lead here? He gets a good run, he's going to be right there up on the back bumper of the 10 truck, his teammate. He's playing nice with the teammate right now. Once they come off at turn 4, is there going to be a shot for the 9 of Malcolm? It's not going to be. The 10 of Sanvital gets the job done for the team. Another 1-2 finish for Trevor Ventures. It's become almost mechanical at this point. that those two are going to finish 1-2 whenever they're running on track. So Alex and Allen bring it home for Trevor Ventures. Tyler Aspinall Racing, Zane Phoenix brings it home 4th. Sarah Taylor from pole position still brings it home in 4th. James Gunner 5th. Tim Morse 6th. John Hagan 7th. Philip Prepura 8th. Brandon Butler the 2nd, 9th. And Eli the Wolf 10th. Three retirements in the race here today, the 14. The 14 is the Philip Manning, who was up front at one point here today. The 08 of Guido Piano and the 0 of Pedro Sales. And there is the rest of your finishing order here in tonight's race. Congratulations to Trevor Ventures on yet another 1-2 finish for the team. And that's a good appetizer course for the rest of this week, folks, as Atlanta will be an exciting race each night that we run it here. Of course, the ARCA race tomorrow is going to be on a different track, but Daytona should still provide us with some thrills tomorrow night, regardless. So that was the East Division race number 2 of 13. And thanks, folks, for tuning in. I know it's so late. It's probably like 2 a.m. on the East Coast and even, yeah, just later everywhere else. I was going to run this one and stay on top of it so that we can be right into the ARCA race tomorrow night. And fortunately for me, no more house cleaning, at least not of the extent that we had today with the full-blown company coming through and doing the carpet cleaning and stuff. There we go.
Rick, did you have any ignition problems?
Alex Sanvital finds victory lane once again here in the USA Trucks division. It's just a constant reminder that Trevor Ventures is not going away anytime soon. TV is going to keep racking up wins with the Toyota camp, and, well, now we've got a Honda headliner as well. And the Chevys and all the other manufacturers, they're there too, fighting for wins. So, with all the flagship manufacturer teams, who knows what the rest of the season has in store for us. Well, folks, that's a wrap here tonight here on YouTube for the Sigma Racing Series. Hopefully all can tune in for the next couple nights of Sigma Racing. Should not be any later, shouldn't be late as this one was. We'll definitely be starting much earlier for the rest of the week. So thanks again, folks. Have a great night. Stay safe out there. And until next time,